watch this.
자, 경기 시작합니다.
Okay. All right, we are going into Monte Cristo. That's going to be game 2. This is going to be Mong versus Jangbi. Jangbi just getting back from the army recently, so still probably a little rusty, but if we all remember back in 2011, 2012, Jangbi is the man. Looking forward to seeing Jangbi come back. Hopefully he reaches that same peak of former glory that he had right before he left for his military service. By the way, you guys, I apologize if I'm super sleepy this morning. I did not sleep last night, so I'm drinking a bunch of coffee. Hopefully I'll wake up and get excited about this game. So in the bottom right, the red Protoss, that is going to be Jangbi. In the top left, the yellow Terran, that is going to be Mong, the Mong Master. I didn't happen to catch what happened in game 1. If chat could catch me up, it was Mong versus BeSt. I know Mong has a pretty good TVP, and BeSt honestly has one of the better PVTs as well, so I would think that's a pretty even matchup. But I didn't see the first game, so I couldn't tell you. All right. So pretty standard openings coming out from both players. Not gonna see any sort of proxies or anything super cheesy coming out. I'm a bit surprised that this gateway feels a little late. It looks like it's gonna be a Nexus first coming out from Jangbi. Jangbi coming back with some pro plays to start things off. So Nexus first, pretty ballsy honestly. But it plays really well into Terran players who typically go for a gasless fast expand because they can't really put on any pressure. Or even a standard gas expand is not actually going to be very strong against this opening. You can still apply a little bit of pressure with the first tank or two, but it's still pretty. Nexus first it's risky, but it's not as risky as it might seem. Definitely not as risky as it is in some other matchups. So it really just depends on if Mong gets the timing of a push down with his first couple siege tanks, or if he's going to just sit back and play it a little bit more standard, wait till the mid game. But Nexus first, it does a really nice, it gives Jangbi a really nice economic advantage that will give him any timing pushes in the mid game stronger for him as well. Sorry guys, I can't English right now. I just can't. You might as well be watching the Russian stream. Oh god. So 2 gateways, pretty expected to be coming out of this after the Nexus first. If you try to go Nexus first and get away with only 1 gateway versus gas expand, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But looks like Mong isn't going to push too hard. He lifts up the barracks. He's only going to make 1 Marine. And that probably means he's just going to be going for a little bit of a faster expansion by saving those minerals here and there. Meanwhile, Jangbi is kind of forced to make somewhere between 3 to 5 Dragoons to defend his base. I can turn up the volume. Let me go ahead and turn up the volume. There we go. My voice is a little bit louder. I have to keep the actual sound a little bit lower just because then I'll be shouting over the Koreans, and that can be a little bit difficult at times. So first vulture is coming in. It's gonna scout what's going on. Cute little block with that zealot, but not gonna be enough to ward away the vulture totally. It looks like maybe 2, only maybe 1 or 2 pros went down there, so pretty nice so far.
와, 허영무 진짜
Jangbi with a good defense. He's going to be having.
윤찬이 그렇죠. 많이
Jangbi has a
뚫어줄
really
수밖에
good
없거든요.
timing in the mid game now.
벌처를 찍고
Now that he
있는
has
윤찬이
that
여기서
earlier
있고요.
advantage, and it basically allows him to, if he wants to set up something like a bulldog rush with shuttle with zealots, or if he wants to even go crazy and just take an early third, he can do that because he has such a strong economic lead in this early game. And a little bit weird to just open up with the spider mines instead of any tanks for Mong. It's kind of a little bit unorthodox, but oh wow, actually one of these, cool, I think it'll be alright. Oh, good surround by those probes. That actually stops the recoil, but it is going to get into the base, and that's going to be super annoying to clean up. I don't know if it still has mines. It should have a couple more mines. It's just going to require perfect micro from both players in order to actually get the maximum value out of this. But good micro from Mong so far, picking off a lot of those probes and kind of evening out that economic advantage. So I apologize for criticizing his choice to go vultures. He's had like, what, 2 or 3 vultures come in here and harass, and they've all done pretty decent damage so far.
와.
Single vulture is super scary.
테란도 41. 일단 이곳은 똑같아요. 하지만 앞마당에서 자원 차이가 최소 미네랄 하나씩 100씩 정도 납니다.
So now we're just waiting for what the follow-up choices are going to be. Looks like we're not going to have that Bisu-esque Reaver drops in the third. Bisu loves to go Reaver drops and make as little units as possible while taking a third, but looks like Jangbi's going to take a little bit more of the classic approach where you just get up to 4 or 5 gateways, pump out a couple units so that you have map control. Get a control group of Dragoons out on the map to just control the middle of the map, and but I take that back. No, he is going to be going for that support base, so we are going to see some Reaver drops, but this is a very early third Nexus, so that's why I was a little bit surprised. There's my alarm telling me to wake up. So we are going to see the Reaver drops. The Reaver drops don't necessarily have to do a lot of damage. I casted a game between Bisu and maybe it was Flash a couple of weeks ago on stream, and Bisu was, he didn't really have to do a lot. All he had to do was have the Reavers in his opponent's base, and that just forces the Terran player to have at least a tank in his main and his natural sieged up, and the rest of his units just gonna have to follow the shuttle around. It's really annoying, but it's a really cost-efficient way to keep the Terran pinned back without actually having to do much. So looking forward to this. He should pick up 2 zealots to go with it. This is the standard way to do this. And Jangbi's macro is actually really good for someone who has been away for such a long time. Looks like his macro is really on point. He's done a really good job of getting up to these 3 bases and getting a really healthy probe count while still getting all of his tech up, so pretty nice. But it looks like Mong knows this is coming, so he's going to be in position to deal with it. It's not a huge deal. It's not like if you're not prepared, then like you automatically lose. Well, you might, but if you're prepared, that doesn't mean that the Protoss player automatically loses, rather. But really nice to have a couple of Goliaths out already in double armory, so that tells me that Mong is going to be playing this game super late. He's going to be going for the +2/+2 and just slowly turtling out to that third base, trying to take as little damage as possible. Good play so far from no big hits there on the Reaver. Sorry guys, a little bit anticlimactic. Just getting a little bit of damage in there, but like I said, the main thing is you force your opponent to stay back. Almost all of Mong's forces are in his main right now, just trying to make sure there's not a shuttle going into his mineral line. So it's really nice. Another scan comes in to check out the tech coming out, and it is going to be the Temple Archives. We're probably going to see the Arbiter Tribune come up pretty soon as well.
저기 삼룡이 멀티 먹을 때 갔거든요. 제가 봤을 때.
그렇죠.
Lots
이
of factories
커맨드가
coming out.
지어진 지 굉장히 오래됐는데
And
아직까지 다
it's not really, Mong's production isn't really going to pick up until he really gets to that third base. But in the meantime, 5 factories is plenty to push out right now. And Jangbi's going to have to start investing in army pretty soon, because once the tank count gets high enough, Mong can just walk across the map. And the 4th is going down right now. This is definitely a boon for Jangbi, setting up that high ground area in the top right so that he can use that as a second point of defense, second base, if you will. Put his production there and try to push back. But as soon as the army moves out to the 3rd, double reaver drops come into the main, and they're not going to get a whole lot, but they're going to at least stop this and force a response. So this is very annoying to actually deal with. I'm not sure that it will be game breaking at all, but really nice that he dropped those 2 zealots on top of the turret to take it out, so he has a retreat path. It's a really heads up play by Jangbi. Oh! That was nice! Kills off 3 supply depots. That is going to slow down the mech army a lot. That is a huge deal for Jangbi right now. So that gives him plenty of time to actually go through 1 or 2 more macro cycles and get a huge ground army out. And Jangbi just took a pretty huge lead by sniping all of those supply depots. A couple of vultures coming out right now. They're going to try to do a little bit of harass, but cannons are already up at the 3rd base, and a really nice wall off, so they might be able to snipe a couple of these probes behind the wall, but with smart play, it's really not going to be much of a problem. The Dragoons come up here to deal with it, and this is going to get cleaned up pretty easily. It's not really a big deal. A lot more probes than I expected actually go down, but honestly it doesn't matter. When you have 4 nexuses up, you have tons of army coming out right now, so Jangbi in a great position moving forward right now. I'm using the word right now way too much, guys. It's too early. Let me take one more sip of coffee. I'm gonna put my face up on top of Ginyu and Gwenchi, maybe. Anyhow, Stargate coming up right now. The Arbiters are a little bit late, so that might just be the side effect of going for this double Reaver drop, but this is another big drop coming into the main right now. He is going to lose one of them. It is the one with all the zealots in it, though, so it's not a big deal. Oh, the SCVs haven't been pulled. The SCVs were not pulled. Okay. Alright, he snipes the tank instead. Oh! Lots of SCVs going down in the main. Doesn't get the second money shot, unfortunately, but those 13 kill Reaver, that's pretty nice. Oh, is he going to get that as well? Oh! Oh, okay, not quite. But still, a very effective drop coming out right now, and you can see the effect. Look at this mech army. This is a ridiculously small mech army. There's no tanks in it. There's almost no vultures. It's such a small army, and honestly, if with a good concave, Jangbi could actually just overrun this army right now. But Jangbi gonna pull back. He's gonna play a little bit safer right now. I'm not gonna go for the throat. But this is really nice for Jangbi. Jangbi definitely looks like he's gonna be taking this game. A couple more tanks join this force, and it's starting off a little bit more formidable, but with the next round of reinforcements, I don't see why Jangbi wouldn't be able to hold this. All he needs to do is get a really good arc and just make sure his zealots stay in front, and he'll be in good shape. I would actually bring a couple of units around the high ground, or around the low ground to the backside so you can get a flank, but Jangbi, he's kind of retreating, and I don't know if I agree with this. He's kind of giving up a lot of position here, and he might get that third base snipe if he's not really careful. He's trying to go for the carriers, actually. This isn't Arbiters, this is going to be a carrier play, but the mech army is at his doorstep. He doesn't really have time to make carriers. He's going to try to go for a counterattack here, which is nice, but I'm not sure about this. Really nice storms, though. Getting a lot of chip damage on that mech army, so that's pretty nice. But that base is going to be going down. It looks like they're going to be trading thirds right now. Actually, the choke there is really big, and there were not a lot of zealots brought along with those dragoons. They're gonna get cleaned up by the defensive tanks, and these zealots over here are not gonna be able to get much done walking through some siege tanks over here. So Jangbi kind of throwing his lead away. His gateway army is really tiny, and he's honestly lost a lot more than he should have. Luckily, he was able to keep his third from going down by threatening that backdoor, but all Mong has to do is walk back and set up again. He's got the Spire Mines already in position. There's no Protoss army threatening him, and there's still another 2 or 3 minutes before these carriers actually get up to a scary point. Jangbi actually taking the 6 o'clock expansion as well, and looks like he's just going to try to expand the opposite way, but he's going to lose a lot of probes in the process. I'm not sure if I agree with this. Again, threatening the back door, but it's not going to work, and right now, Jangbi's forces have been cut off from that 4th base as well. All it takes is just a small dedicated move up there with a couple of tanks and vultures. That's easy peasy cleanup. So yeah, as TT1 points out, Neck is pretty imba.
와, 또 여기서 프로브 방해하고 있고요. 자, 허용 막으로 갑니다. 일단 병력.
But yeah, just very strange that Jangbi decided to not try to go for a good arc against that Protoss army, that he decided to go for the late carrier rush. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. When you're up ahead in economy like that, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go carriers unless you're so far ahead and the Terran army has 0 tanks. The Terran army was a little bit smaller, but still, that's not a situation where you want to go into the carriers. It was a very risky idea from Jangbi. He stabilized for now, which has bought him enough time to build up these carriers, so really lucky play from him right now that Mong is just kind of pulling back and letting off the pressure. Honestly, I think Mong failed to actually pull the trigger there and kill off the 3rd and the 4th bases. If he had done that, he would have just straight up won the game right now, but as it is, the game is actually kind of back to even again. There are a lot of tanks in this army and not a lot of Goliaths so far, so there is a possibility that when this mech army moves across the map, it just gets sniped by a bunch of carriers, but still, we haven't really seen what Mong wants to do right now. It looks like he's just turtling really hard. It's honestly kind of confusing, and this is where I honestly would have preferred to have Arbiters over the carriers, but we'll have to see. That was a bad storm. We'll put it bluntly, that was a bad storm. But Jangbi is doing a really good job of forcing his opponent to siege and unsiege over and over again. And it looks like the carriers are almost ready to go. As soon as the carriers are ready to go, he's going to reveal them and probably kill off a lot of these tanks as they're trying to retreat. The real problem is, though, he has to make sure that he does it in such a way that he can kill off most of this army before it gets to his bases. But a lot of Goliaths being added on in the very end. And this is actually a little bit scary just because I don't think these carriers can actually do a lot. They don't have enough interceptors. There's not really the critical mass needed to deal with this mini Goliaths. And Mong continuing to move forward. 2 High Templars just go down for free. And the carrier goes down for free as well. And Mong is just pushing through. Mong doing a really good job of just having all of the right units at the right time, having the right responses. And there's no zealots anywhere to deal with these Goliaths. So strange. Moving in right now for a counterattack with a control group of Dragoons. That's not going to do anything. That's going to get pushed back by just pure Goliath. And the natural is being sieged up right now. The 3rd base is going to go down shortly. And Jangbi is in a lot of trouble right now. He can't keep up with the upgrades. His carriers, which were his big trump card, just aren't... They're not scary enough at this point in the game. So it's just what do you do from here? You just get hope for that all the Goliaths are out of position, go for a Hail Mary. He's going to try to go for a carrier zealot attack right now, but he's going to run through a choke right here, which is not very pretty. And there are no more interceptors left. He killed off like 2 or 3 Goliaths in that exchange for a bunch of gateway units and interceptors. I'm not sure that was so good. He's going to try to hold the high ground with a couple of Dragoons here, but this is not going to last very long. It's a pretty wimpy defense. Eventually able to clean up this army that's out in his out in front of his natural, but Mong is so he's so confident he's actually taking the forward base right now. All he has to do is continue to rally down to that natural. That's the GG for sure. But Jangbi is still staying in the game. He wants to continue to stand up for his team, prevent Mong's reign of terror. But this is looking pretty brutal so far. Team Mong starting off really strong in this series. Jangbi is probably staying in the game just because he still has that 6 o'clock base, and he feels like he can probably maybe wait until he has critical massive carriers. But at this point in the game, you just have to, you need the luckiest storms ever in order to actually even pull even. I don't see this actually coming out for Jangbi, but he's going to continue to try. He really does believe in it. Attacking the Nexus there, that's just so he can get the interceptors out and quick release them. But Mong just doing his due diligence. He's cleaning up the middle of the map so he has even more routes to get through. It's going to make it much easier, but the carries are actually attacking in this bottom base. Enough Goliaths and missile turrets here are going to be able to push this away for now. So at this point in the game, Mong he has complete control of the map. What do you do?
근데 진짜 토스의 그 페이스였는데 자기 그냥 운영만으로
이건 진짜 운영만으로 이긴 거거든요.
One high tempo goes down to some tanks. I mean, if Mong just doesn't do anything and lets Jangbi take the top 2 expansions and get 24 carriers, maybe, maybe the game's not over.
그다음에 본인의 전략 전술만으로도 지금 이렇게 이기고 있는 몽군이거든요.
이거는 토스가 덮쳐야 되는 그림인데
He's gonna try to go for a carrier counterattack in the main, but there's a big mech army walking over to his third right now, and the carriers are the only thing that allow him to actually deal with this army. And actually, a pincer movement coming in from behind. This flank is beautiful by Mong. Jangbi's forces going down, surrounded on all sides. Just completely lost. He's gonna continue trying to micro these carriers in the main, but actually loses 1 carrier for free. He's gonna, I guess that he's just practicing like a micro map, but loses another carrier for free. I'm not sure what Jangbi is expecting right now. I guess maybe he's just practicing his carrier micro at this point. Yeah, it seems like fantasy may have taken over Jangbi's computer right now. Another carrier goes down. Look at that nice split. Did you see that split? So we're just gonna continue to watch Jangbi try to micro these carriers a little bit, but the game is very over. I don't know why Mong didn't just walk into the natural. While this was going on, Mong did clean up the 6 o'clock base, so there's absolutely no mining for Jangbi. At this point, Jangbi has literally nothing, and eventually he's gonna run out of minerals for these interceptors. There's the GG. Mong going up 2-0 in this series. Looking pretty strong.